You're watching What She Said on YouTube.
Joining us now in studio with Kate Wheeler and me, Christine Bentley, is an ex-ballet dancer who has developed a whole new way of working out that she says will shave years and pounds off you. The book is called Aging Backwards, and the author, Miranda Esmonde-White, is here to explain all this. So welcome to What She Said.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, you certainly have our attention now. Aging backwards.
Aging
We're all about
backwards,
that.
Well, first of all, aging, we don't understand aging. And right up until I started doing a lot of research about 15 years ago on aging, and there has been no research. I mean, for hundreds of years, we just assumed that we just aged because of chronological years. And so there's no research on why we age. So nobody's even considered thinking about why do we age. We just do it. But the reality is that there's now science showing us what keeps us young and how we can keep ourselves young and not let ourselves age. And aging takes place in our cells. When we're born, the cells multiply until we become a full adult. And those same cells can be kept young and vibrant for as long as we live. The human body is designed to stay strong and healthy and vibrant. Our bones, our muscles, our cardiovascular system, everything is there. Everything is in place. We just have to treat it correctly, and it will stay strong and vibrant. And this is new science. This is breakthrough science that has never been known before. So actually, in this book, you're going to be learning something that is never been heard before, but is backed up by research from the University of Pittsburgh, European universities, and a lot of new science all put together so that we as lay people can control our aging process. We don't have to age badly. We can age well. It's simple to do. It doesn't take a lot of work, which is the nice thing, because a lot of people don't like working too hard. But everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to be pain-free. Everybody wants good posture. Everybody wants to look attractive. We don't enjoy the negative sides of aging. And what I discovered, and through a lot of science is proven, is that we don't have to anymore. We actually have a choice.
What happens to our bodies around the age of 40? Because that seems to be a sort of turning point where we have to take things under control.
At the human body, we all know there's a due date. So the human body...
Really? Are you sure?
Sadly, yes. That I'm 100% sure of. So the human body is designed to... It's a very efficient machine. And if we don't use it, we will lose it. So we're made up of tens of trillions of cells. Muscle cells, bone cells, nerve cells, all different cells, skin cells. And our cells are, when they get damaged or sick, they're replaced or repaired. And then after the age of 40, if we don't use those cells, there's a sort of a program that starts... I like people to look at a rose or a flower. It's beautiful, and then it starts to fade. So the human body, if we're not keeping it beautiful, it will start to fade. The cells of our body are designed, if we're not using our muscle cells, they're actually designed to slowly shrink, and that's called atrophy. So they'll go through this slow process, and that slow process of shrinking starts around the age of 40. But you can bypass that. That's the choice. You can then use your cells, use all your muscles, and that will stop the fading, the atrophying process, and keep your cells alive and vibrant.
How does metabolism work into this?
Well, this is metabolism. I mean, yes, we will lose some degree. We slow down because every time you replace a cell, repair a cell, it's not as good as the original one. But at least it's there. So there will be some slowing down, but a minimal. The average person, it's accepted medically that we lose about 8% of our cells a decade. So if you don't work all your muscles, and we have 620 muscles. Those, whatever you're not using, will slowly fade away and atrophy. So if you use them, then you won't lose 8% a decade. You might lose 2% a decade. So yes, your metabolism will slow down, but not anywhere near as rapidly as somebody who is just average.
So, is there a correct way to do the exercise? Are there specific exercises that you prefer? I mean, you seem to be all about stretching. A lot of them look very similar to sort of yoga stretches or Tai Chi sequences, that kind of thing. Is it similar to that?
The exercise portion of this program, I like not to talk about too much because it's not about the exercises. It's about understanding how your body ages. And once you understand how your body ages, then you'll know exactly what to do. So, like for instance, if you owned a moving company, and somebody phoned you up and said, would you move? You, as the owner of the moving company, you'd ask them, well, do you have a one-bedroom apartment or is it a three-story house, and are you moving 2 blocks away or are you moving across the country? So that's the same thing with our bodies. In order to keep them young, knowledge is what we need. And the moment you know, if I do this, because you need mobility, so if you know that to keep you young you have to move 620 muscles, then you're going to automatically know the correct exercises to do that. And if you know that you have to relax and you have to use every joint, then you'll find the program that will use the joints to keep them free. So I don't like people to focus on the exercises. I'd rather them learn about why they're aging, understand. And then when you know that you don't have to age, you can stay young and vibrant. And the good thing is you can reverse all these signs of aging. You can reverse all the hip pain and the knee pain and the weight problems just by rebooting your cells. But you need to know how to do that. So the knowledge comes before the exercises. So you can exercise, you can do all kinds of exercises and actually cause more aging problems. So knowledge first, and then the program will follow.
Miranda, you talk about not wanting to focus on the exercises, except for the fact that you run contrary to the sort of the common thread. No weights involved in your exercise programs and no sweaty cardio. So this is something that most trainers incorporate as part of their exercise program, and you're saying it's not necessary. So so the exercises are kind of important.
Oh, the exercises are extremely important, but what I'm saying is the knowledge. Once you understand because the cardio, people think of cardio, and trainers they're going to start learning from my book, naturally. This is new science. This is breakthrough science. It's going to start changing the way people look at their body and look at training their bodies. So the cardio is a cardiac muscle, but it's the cardiovascular system. It's not just a heart. The heart is pumping blood through 100,000 miles of veins and arteries and capillaries. And that blood cell will take 1 minute to go all the way through all that mileage and back to your heart. So what the concept in cardio is, people are focusing on the heart muscle, the cardiac muscle, and they're forgetting all about the vascular system. And it's actually the vessels that go through your fingers, your feet, up through your calves, into your quads. So the movement of the full body, moving in every direction, is pumping the blood through your muscles and taking the load off the heart so that the heart doesn't do all the work. And the blood is there to feed our fingers, to feed all the muscles, to give us energy, to burn our calories. So if we're not moving all 620 muscles, we're not able to keep those cells that we're not moving alive, putting a load on your heart.
Mm-hmm. Now, actually, the calves are key, right?
Absolutely. The calves are at the bottom of your body.
Yes.
So the calf muscle is referred to as the second cardiac muscle because it's pumping the blood from, or it should be if we use our feet properly, it pumps the blood from the bottom up into your heart. And it takes a lot of mileage to get the blood up from your calf into your heart. So by using your feet, using your knees, big movements, big gentle movements, but lunges side to side and knee bends and side bends, all this is pumping the blood. The calf muscle, every time you bend and stretch your legs, you're actually doing like an old-fashioned garden pump that pumps water. You're actually sucking the blood up into the heart so that takes the load off your cardiac muscle. And you don't have to do any impact. And that's what people think. They think of cardio, you have to run, you have to do things that are going to somehow have an impact on the joints. But one of the problems that people have as they age is joint problem. And we don't want to contract our joints. We want to strengthen and liberate our joints so that we won't have any joint issues. And there's no need for anybody to suffer joint pain.
And welcome back to our studio. I'm Christine Bentley with Kate Wheeler, and joining us is Miranda Esmonde-White, the author of the book called Aging Backwards. 10 years younger, 10 years lighter, in 30 minutes a day. Now,
I'm in.
Yeah, we're all in. Miranda, we've just been discussing our 620 muscles and how we don't really need to age as quickly. We're all going to get there at some point, but we can really slow it down. Now, tell us, your background as a ballet dancer. How did you come up with this program?
Well, I'm from the National Ballet of Canada. I started at the school at the age of 10, graduated and joined the ballet company. Then after I left the company, I wandered around the world for a while trying to figure out what to do with my career and ended up opening a dance and fitness center. And sometime into 8 or 9 years after starting off teaching a lot of aerobics and weights and all that, my students knew I was a ballerina and asked me to create a program to develop long, lean muscles that had soft music. They didn't like the pounding steps, the pounding music. At the same time, I was renting the studio rooms to a Tai Chi master. So I took a lot of Tai Chi with him and loved the smooth moves. And I was also suffering from chronic back pain. I mean, the really bad back pain where I had a standing appointment with my chiropractor Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and that was for about 3 years. Otherwise, I was so in so much spasm, I was stuck in bed. So I incorporated the long, lean line to get that ballerina long, elegant muscle, the perfect posture into the program as the way of developing the muscles. And the movements were smooth from the Tai Chi. And then I put in this program what I felt the chiropractor was doing to my back, to my spine. And within 3 weeks, everybody had started, all our pain was gone. My back pain was gone, never come back. The students in my classes, all their pain was disappearing. And people were losing 3 inches off their waists. Their pants were fitting better. Their legs were thinner. So then I started working with doctors, physiotherapists. I was headhunted by a lot of doctors whose patients were coming back with their osteoporosis gone, arthritis gone. So they were starting to recommend people to me. And over these last 15 years, roughly, I've been working with surgeons and osteopaths and physiotherapists, and I travel around the world now, working with doctors around the world on neurological, helping all kinds of muscular and neurological issues. At the same time as all of this happened, PBS brought me in, and I've had my own show on National PBS for 16 years now. And I was headhunted by a lot of high-level athletes and sports teams. So it all happened very, very rapidly. People like Alexandre Depatie and the national diving team.
Yes, I mean, I'm looking at skating stars, Joannie Rochette, Jessica Dube, Bryce Davidson. You work with students at Cirque du Soleil.
You know, we've worked with pretty much anybody who needs exercise now, top level athletes turned a lot of careers around. Jonathan Powers, world squash champion, he's done this program for 8 years. He did it his entire final sort of 6 or 7 years of squash. My company now is the full-time trainers for the Montreal Canadian hockey team. Now, I shouldn't be saying that here in Toronto, but they do this program twice a week, the Montreal Canadiens, and it's compulsory for the whole team. And our team, they've been doing it 2 years now, and they were the most injured team in the league, and now they are the least injured team in the league. So it's injuries and pain is all related to aging. So we're helping all these athletes reverse their pain so that they can remain good, high-level athletes.
Well, many people cannot physically come and have an appointment with you. So let's say they buy the book. What would you recommend? You have a number of exercise programs in there. How often and how much time a day?
Well, I recommend people do the exercises in the morning. I do 20 minutes to half an hour of what's in the book. Basically, these are the exercises I'm doing, and I've mixed them all up in the book. So in the morning, you're rebooting your cells. You're getting all those cells happy and fired up and ready to burn calories and give you energy. So the morning is the best. I do it every single day because it becomes a habit, and that's what people from around who do my PBS show, they've told me over the years, and these are people who do it every single day and have done it for 10 years every day, because it becomes a habit like brushing your teeth, and you feel so good, and it's really quite simple. So that's what I recommend, and mixing it up. Don't stick to one because we don't want to unbalance our body, so keep moving around. And there is a URL that is in the front of the book where people can actually go online and follow the exercises that are in the book online. So it makes it easier to actually see the movements. That's the beauty of modern publishing.
Now, Miranda, how do people get your book? I know that you've graciously offered some for our listeners, and we'll be putting that up, and I think you're going to be writing a small blog to us.
And what about some of those DVDs, Miranda? Wouldn't that be great to give away?
Absolutely.
Oh.
But how can people get it if they want to get it right away?
If they want to get it right away, Indigo has it right now in all the stores, so they can go anywhere they want, any Indigo, and we'll have the book. And Essentrics, ESSENTRICS.com is the way to get the DVDs. But the book is at Indigo, so I hope people get it because it's going to change their lives, and it's going to help people.
It's going to help me lose my 35 pounds?
Help you lose your 35 pounds, but it'll help you live a happy, happy life, and that's what we want. We want to live a pain-free, energetic, happy life, and pain is a terrible way to live.
Well, I've done 4 days. I'm going to keep on going because at 3 weeks you tell me I'm going to notice a difference in my body, which would be nice. It'd be nice if it was a little
We should track
firmer.
you. Maybe we'll come over and take photographs of
Yes.
you close up and put them up.
Take measurements.
Okay. Well, Miranda Esmonde-White, thank you so much for joining us. And
Click the channel subscribe button for full-length interviews and more from What She Said here on YouTube.